Hello everyone and welcome to Crochet Chat number 5. It's been quite a while since I've last done one of these, and that's kind of for two reasons. One, just because I've been too busy to make it, but also two, I've been a bit embarrassed about how little I've got to show off to you guys, because I've just had so many different projects on the go these past couple of months. You'd think being in lockdown I'd have all this extra free time, but I kind of filled it up with new projects which kind of made me have less time for crochet. And so yeah, there hasn't been as much to show you that you haven't already seen in previous videos, but I have got a few things and it's just been too long, so I wanted to catch you all up on what I've been up to. So I still do crochet every day, just not for as long as I used to. So I used to sort of crochet for a couple of hours every day, whereas now it's between sort of half an hour and an hour, always in the evening usually. Sometimes do a bit extra in the day, but yeah, it just hasn't been as frequently as before. But one of the things I was making for quite a while are these blanket squares, so I'll sort of show you them up close, and I've left a very long tail on them so that I'm able to sew the blanket together once it's done. So this is it there. I'm not sure if the colour's picking up properly, but they're in a shade of purple. So this is using the Banat Softy Chunky yarn. So I've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares here, and I did make a few extra ones, but they're packed away ready to sew into a blanket, which I tell you what, I am dreading doing that, you guys. I'm so bad at sewing, and look how long all the tails are, and I'm going to try and use them to sew them to each other. And I've got so I'm doing a Harry Potter sort of blanket, and I've got this idea in my head of what it's going to look like. So it's my own pattern, and I've sort of graphed it out, and it's going to have 150 squares in total of, it's using 4 different colours and 4 different stitches. I'm doing a different stitch for each colour, so it'll have like some texture variation as well as some colour variation, and it's going to be a Slytherin themed blanket because I'm a Slytherin. But they're not the bad guys. If any of you are kind of like casual Harry Potter fans and think, oh no, Slytherin the bad guys, just means we're ambitious and resourceful. So yeah, I'm a Slytherin, what can I say? So I'm excited about that project because it's one I've been working on for several months now. I sort of came up with the idea I want to say August last year, it was a really long time ago. So I started making the blanket squares because I already had some Banat Softy yarn, but then I ran out and I still needed lots and lots of squares to go. So I calculated how many squares I'd already made compared to how many skeins I'd had, figured out how much I needed and got the order in. But I also had lots of other projects I wanted to work on, because by the time I had the new yarn for the Banat Softy one, it was end of September time, so I was working on stuff for the craft fair by that point, so I was doing lots of winter hats and everything, so I didn't have time for finishing up with the blanket, and I guess I just sort of put it to the side and only sort of recently picked it back up. I want to finish it at some point. I don't know when it's going to get finished. I want to say hopefully by the end of the year, because I do have the yarn and it wasn't cheap, so I definitely want to make sure I use it. But once I have finished it, I'll obviously show it off to you guys so you can see it in all its glory, and I'm also going to make the pattern available on my Ravelry shop once it is done. But as well as the blanket squares, honestly there's really not much to this video. I feel so bad. I also made this hat. So this was using a Stylecraft Candy Swirl. I want to say the colour's candy apple or something like that, but I can't remember exactly. But it's kind of green, blue and pink. So I feel like it's quite a unisex hat because the pink isn't very sort of girly pink. It's kind of a unisex pink, at least in my opinion. So I think it would work well for either a girl or a boy. And once again, it's using the Divine Hat pattern that I got obsessed with. I love it. I'm really annoyed there's a tiny bit of green at the bottom, because obviously where it's a cake yarn I couldn't control the colour changes, and literally just those last few stitches on that very last row went into the new colour, but that's at the back so it's fine. So this is what it looks like once it's on. Hang on. There we go. So I think it's a really cute hat. I love the design, I love the style, and I love the colours too, so I think it would work for like I say, for a guy or a girl. It's probably going to be bought by a girl because a lot of guys don't like to wear pink, but I feel like they have the option at least. And yeah, so that's one of the things I've been working on. I also had some cotton I showed off, I think it was in my first Wool Warehouse unboxing. So this was the King Cole Vogue cotton, and it's kind of like a faded purple, so it sort of goes, the purple gets sort of darker and then lighter. It's quite a sort of faded, kind of stone washed effect. And this is using the seed stitch, and it's just basically, it's like a dishcloth so I haven't used it yet because I wanted to show it off to you before it got all dirty and covered in grime and everything. But where it's cotton, and I can just throw it in the wash once I'm done, so it's reusable several times rather than sort of using it a few times and then throwing it away like you do with some dishcloths if they're not made to last. So yeah, I'm really excited to use this. Plus, because where it's the C-stitch, it's quite a textured stitch, so hopefully it'll be good at getting on sort of that caked on dirt on the dishes if you forget to rinse them or something. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using this because hopefully it'll make the washing up a bit easier. I've also shown this off in my previous knit crate video, but not all of you will have seen it. So this is a very, very sparkly yarn. It's purple yarn. It was a knit crate exclusive. I think the colour was called Lapis, even though Lapis is blue, but oh well. But like, you guys can see the sparkle on that. It is so sparkly, it's insane. And this is a little capelet in a seashell pattern. So hang on, can you guys, yeah, you can sort of see the pattern. I'm gonna pop it on for you guys. So it sort of hangs on the shoulders, really sparkly. I think it's really pretty. I love it. This is what I'm keeping for myself. Like, a lot of the stuff I make to sort of sell it at craft fairs, but this one, it's all mine. No one gets this. Not the pretty purple stuff, that's all mine. But yeah, so this one took me a long time to make because it's quite an intricate pattern and the yarn itself is very thin, so this one took me a good couple of weeks to make, if I'm being honest. Like, it took a lot longer than you might think by looking at it. It's deceptively tricky to make. And now, the final finished object that I want to show you today, the pièce de résistance. So some of you may have seen my most recent Wool Warehouse unboxing video, and I had some Red Heart soft yarn, which I told you was for a super secret project, but I didn't tell you what it was for. Well, I can now reveal what I made with it. So this is a lap blanket. Sort of, I'll lean back so you can see it properly. But this is using a pattern that's called the Crochet Mist pattern, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. And I modified the colours somewhat. So the original came with 4 colours, I've used 3, and I sort of made up sort of colour pattern myself, and then I did a sort of border with it as well. But yeah, I love it. I think it looks amazing. And this is a birthday present for my mother-in-law because she was actually the one who shared the pattern to me. She posted it to me on Facebook and she said, "This is beautiful." So I thought, aha, now I know what I'm making her for her birthday. So I'm seeing her tomorrow for the video, but I'm not going to put this out until she's seen it in case she gets any spoilers. But yeah, I'll know by tomorrow if she likes it. And I really, really hope she does because I put so much love into this, you guys. Like, I have never done a project this ambitious because, like, you can see how many colour changes there were, and you guys know I hate sewing in ends. So rather than leaving them all till last minute, I decided I'm just going to sew in the ends as I go so that I don't have a horrible job at the end. But yeah, it took, I reckon, for about 30 hours in total to make the whole blanket. I haven't got the exact measurements, but big enough. Big enough is what I'm going for, the measurements. But yeah, I just think it's absolutely stunning. So it's got the blue, the purple and the green. My one regret is in the video, the unboxing video, you may recall I bought 3 purples, 2 blues and 1 green because that was kind of how I figured the colours would distribute. However, I didn't sort of fully think it through because I didn't realise the initial pattern wasn't for 3 colours, it was for 4, and in the picture the green one they used didn't look like it was used that much, but because they had 2 different purples that looked very similar, it kind of threw me off, so I ended up doing my own variation like I said, and I ran out of green sooner than I would have liked, so I kind of improvised by at the top, you can sort of see I've just done purple where the green would have been otherwise, and I did the same on the bottom, but it was like blue and then purple, which again, I wish I could have got just 1 more row to make it purple at the top and purple at the bottom, but it still looks great. I think it's still got a super unique effect to it, and I'm just in love with it, and I just hope she is too. It is honestly so soft, you guys. Like, you'll remember in the video I told you how soft that yarn felt, and it is equally soft in real life. So yeah, I'm thrilled. It's super cozy because it's an Aran weight, so it's a really good thickness. I used a 5.5mm crochet hook for it. But yeah, I mean, I'm really proud of this. This is probably one of my most proud crochet creations I've ever made, aside from the shawl I made with the sheep as well, which I've shown in previous videos. But yeah, I love it. I'm so happy with it, and I can't wait to see her reaction to it, honestly. I really, really hope she likes it. I'll be gutted if she doesn't. Just because I really want to give her something special, because she's like the most amazing woman. I'm so, so lucky to have her as my mother-in-law. So yeah, I just want to give her something super special and unique to her on her birthday. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to crochet-wise lately. I've been sort of doing other stuff behind the scenes, but not crochet related. So yeah, I haven't really had too much time to do extra crochet. My next project that I want to work on is an infinity scarf. So I'm planning to use this Red Heart Unforgettable yarn in the colour Fantasy, I think it's called. And I mean, it's just so me, it's so beautiful. So I'm really excited to get started on this probably tonight. I think what I'm probably going to do is go for an Elizabeth stitch because that's like my favourite stitch. And yeah, I think it will look gorgeous in this colour, so I'm excited to do that one. And this one again, so squishy and soft, like, oh, it's perfect. Cannot wait for this to be made, but at the same time, really excited for the making process. You crocheters get it, you know what I mean. It's that feeling of, I cannot wait to see what this project will look like, but also, I don't want this project to end, I'm enjoying it too much. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this crochet chat. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit shorter than usual because I didn't have too many things to show off, but fun all the same, at least for me and hopefully for you guys too. Please give this video a like, drop a comment down below to say what you thought of the items I made, and please do subscribe to the channel for more crochet and yarn videos in the future. Bye bye.